Well, good evening, YouTube. Back to a live face video. Been working on some projects while I've been down. Want to talk to you tonight about what you do when everything is kind of a swirl around you. And I'm going to give you a few real-world examples. So, first, I'm geopolitically involved. I have friends all over the world. I have friends in conflict zones right now. And forgive me wiping my face. It is incredibly warm here. It's like Minnesota became Vietnam. But I have friends everywhere. And right now, some of them are involved in dangerous pursuits. And that concerns me. I respect their profession. I respect what they do. I respect what they stand for. But nevertheless, even if this person doesn't mind risking their life for their values, I have an unease at this point in my life risking their life for the loss from my life. When inevitably, when you live by the sword, it's a good chance you're going to die by the sword. I've lost some friends. So there's that major stressor. I also follow politics quite a bit. I'm a centrist with liberal tendencies when it comes to domestic policy. When it comes to taking care of people, I err on the side of yes. And when it comes to monetary policy, I'm within reason of conservative. I don't think you should spend money stupidly. I mean, if I can get a great bang for my buck spending it on this specific infrastructure that's going to help this many people or whatever, if it's provably decent for the American people, then I'm going to spend the American people's money on it. If it's not, then I'm not. And as far as like defense goes, I mean, I'm sorry. My belief in defense is the fact that we have enough defense to make us actually less safe, not more. We spend more than the top 10 nations behind us combined. So, anywho, as you can see, I follow politics pretty closely. And there's a ton of chaos in it. First, it was Trump was going to be a shoo-in, and I'm like, okay, so what do I need to do to gear my life towards a Trump presidency and how it's going to affect X, Y, and Z in my life and in my community? Then it was Joe Biden is out and Kamala is in, and I'm like, okay, everything I've heard framed about Kamala Harris is that it's benign. I mean, it's not bad, but there's nothing stellar there. And then I started looking into it, and I started seeing some stuff, and I started following her a bit, which I had never done before. And, of course, it created a blind spot for me. What wasn't a decent consideration to exclude her. It's something I need to look into because I'm not a sexist person. I'm not anti any race. In fact, I'm really open to other cultures. I like other cultures. I like Southeast Asia quite a bit. I love to travel. I've been all over the world. So it's kind of like, okay, where did that blind spot come from? Did that blind spot come from my consumption of media and just a narrative slipped through that I didn't question? So, there's a lot geopolitically going on. There's also a lot in my life going on right now. I've been off work for a few months now, as, evidenced by my videos. And I'm one of those kind that don't do well without something to do. I am desperate to get back to work, so desperate to get back to work that a week ago last Friday, I went in and had surgery done on both of my toes at the same time on both feet. No more pissing around. I don't have time for this. Cut my recovery from 2 months, or from 4 months down to 2 months. Was a painful decision because the surgery did hurt quite a bit. But it was a sacrifice in pursuit of my goals, which is to get me closer to fully functional again. Get me closer to my walking regimen again. Get me closer towards my health recovering to a point where I can go back to work. And financially, that becomes an issue because I don't know if any of you have ever gotten help from the county, but help from the county is kind of a Faustian bargain. You usually wind up in a tougher spot than you would expect when they talk about how they're going to do this and do that and do that and do this. It's usually 50% of the way. And in my unique circumstances, I can't make the other 50%. There's no way. I can't work. I can't stand. I'm not even supposed to be sitting for a lengthy period of time. So it's a situation in which finances and concern and physical pain and they kind of hit me all at once. And I'm not really built for heat. And I'm telling you, it is sunset, it is 9 p.m., and I am red-faced and sweating. So if that gives you an idea, she's warm here and very humid. Which makes me a little grouchy, which makes me not make the best decisions. So if you couple all of that together, I'm sure you can see that in my personal life right now, I'm experiencing and have been a bit of swirl, a bit of chaos that does not serve me and does not do well for me. It revs anxiety, it causes bad choices and bad decisions. It's not something that is going to result in a good end. At best, it's going to result in wasted time and wasted energy, worrying about things that I have no control over. So, I want to give you a kind of a clinic on what to do by telling you what I'm doing. I'm doing something I call retrenching. I'm going back to my basic core principles. You know, I'm going back to asking myself, is it true that my friends are in danger? Some of them? Yeah. Yep. Does that truth serve me right now? No. I have been out of the game that they are in for 30 years almost. I cannot help them. I can love them. I can worry about them, which does me no good. Or I can support those around me who, in their pain and fear, are much closer than I am. Some of these men have families, you know. Some of these men have children. Some of these men have wives. They all have brothers, sisters, moms, dads, and I know many of them were a pretty tight-knit community. So instead of wallowing in my worry and in my fear, I've decided, hey, I'm going to reach out. So I've talked to some of them recently, you know, how you doing? How you holding up? Do you need anything? What's the latest in your life? Be a touchstone for them. And in so, they become a touchstone for me. And that helps. as far as the politics goes, trying to do anything about it and or prognosticating what's going to happen, as far as I'm concerned, is like pissing in the wind. You're only going to get wet and still need a shower. It's one of those things where I almost have to result back to Stoic principles, and it's like, does this serve me? Well, no. Is there anything I can do about it? No. Even down to the point of espousing my opinion on a great many topics. Well, great. Now we know. We still don't care. Nobody really gives a shit about what a person's political opinion is, by and large, unless it affects them. And, well, you know, I'm one vote. Everybody's one vote. Whether you're right, whether you're left, you're one vote. I'm not saying your vote doesn't matter. I'm just saying putting it into perspective helps for me. I don't need to invest my time in that. In fact, what I have decided to invest my time in is learning how to bake bread. Lord help me. And learning how to make jam, because fruit goes bad this time of year so damn fast. And I can't keep up with eating it, or I'm going to have a sugar rush like you've never seen. Which, of course, will not make my doctor happy, because he's trying to lower my A1C, not raise it. But I figured I could, learn the secrets of making jam, and it's relaxing and it's comfortable, and the kids will have something wonderful to eat, and so will I, and I can give it away, and it can be a thing, it can be a thing that is not the thing that's been holding my attention and causing my swirl. So being of service can help. Being busy with something that's more constructive helps. So if you find yourself in the mix, in the swirl, and you've kind of lost sight of what to do, where you're going, take a minute to find some anchor point to work from. Whether that's reaching out to offer help to somebody else and having that reciprocated back to you, that's a great way to do it, or whether it is reaching out to somebody just to talk. That can be, even if it's just temporary, an anchor point. Because in that swirl, what you need to do is you need to find a way to position yourself so that the swirl goes around you, but doesn't tumble you too. You see what I'm saying? You're the lighthouse. You're that steady rock right in the middle. And then you can start peeling that away. Okay. All of this swirl is swirling around me. Not swirling me around, but swirling around me. I have my anchor point. I'm going to grab them one at a time and deal with them. And that might be through grabbing it, looking at it, going, not right now, and tossing it back and grabbing something else that's easier. But whatever it is, look towards service of others. Look towards keeping busy, doing something joyful, learning something new to replace some of the stuff in that swirl. And I'm not saying ignore it. So my financial stuff, yeah, I'm still working with the county. I am enhancing my patience, so to speak. Otherwise, I'll be right back in the same position I am by not letting my feet completely heal, and I will be out there working 90 hours a week and happier than a pig rolling in shit. But Point being, be of service. Do something that you find enjoyable. Do another something that you find meaningful. And sooner or later, you're going to find that you're knocking down those bits that are swirling, that chaos. Evidenced by the fact that my face is looking into this camera, chatting to you. You know, I wasn't ready to come back to camera yet. I wasn't organized in my thoughts. My thoughts were chaotic because my thoughts were dealing with 15 different things at once. And shit, where's the dog? You know, it's like, okay. In that swirl, you really can't do anything. So I retrenched, and now I'm coming back out. This happens to everyone. This isn't something unique. This happens more often than a person would think. And taking a few days, a few weeks, hell, even a month if you need to, just stepping back, finding that anchor point, and then dealing with those pieces as they fling around you. Don't ride with them. Deal with them pieces as they fling around you. One at a time, piece by piece, remembering to stay centered, to stay at your anchor point, to work from your anchor point, so that you can rebuild what you had before the chaos hit. And rebuilding what you had is going to allow you then to understand that your foundation is good. You're able to do this, and then you can build out further. So anywho, I will leave you alone on this lovely, very, very sweaty Tuesday night. And y'all have a lovely day, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.